I know what you're thinking, but no. The title of this video, the thumbnail, are not some clickbait way to get you to click on the video only to flip the script and be like, haha, it's not about hate, it's about love wins. That's not what it's about at all. So I really do want to talk about hate and how hate can actually help us in our relationships if we learn to hate well. So one of my favorite books is by Henry Cloud. It's called 9 Things We Simply Must Do to Succeed at Life and Love. And in this book, he presents a principle that is called hate well. And when I first read that, I was like, this seems like an oxymoron. How can you hate well? One seems negative, the other seems good. And if I were to ask you, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word hate? It's going to be all bad. Hate's a bad thing. Hate causes people to do mean things. Hate causes people to hurt other people. Hate causes people to be selfish, right? Hate leads to discrimination, to racism, to all kinds of bad stuff. And so we think hate is a bad thing. But in this video, I want to prove to you that hating well is actually a benefit in your relationships. So I want to give you 2 things that hating well will do for your relationships. And I want to distinguish between hating well and hating poorly, subjective hate versus objective hate, and really understanding what those things are. So you can tell a lot about somebody by what they love, right? Because the things that they love are usually going to drive them to pursue, to invest in, to put resources, energy, time towards the things that they love, right? If somebody says they love family, you can kind of know what to expect with some of their behaviors and priorities. If somebody says they love to win at all costs, you know that's going to drive some of their ambition, some of their priorities. It's going to cause them to overlook some other things. Well, not only is it important what we love, but it's also important to know what a person hates, because what a person hates will also help define them. So one of the quotes in the book is this, and so let me just lead in with this. What a person hates tells you a lot about who they are, what they value, and what they care about. Let me say that again. What a person hates tells you a lot about who they are, what they value, and what they care about. So it's important in the dating process, it's important when selecting a life partner to know what the other person hates, because this will determine some of their values and some of what they do and pursue. For instance, if I gave you 2 options of potential lifelong partners, and all I'm going to do is tell you 3 things that they each hate, you will have no problem making a partner selection just based off of this. So option number 1 hates hard work, they hate accountability, and they hate conflict. Partner number 2 hates lying and dishonesty, they hate yelling, and they hate conflict avoidance. Which partner do you want to spend your life with? It's pretty simple. You can learn a lot about somebody by understanding what they hate. So what I want to do is I want to give you 2 things that I believe hating well will do for a relationship. And then I want to help you understand the difference between subjective hate and objective hate, because too many people subjectively hate and it destroys their relationships, when the reality is objective hate can actually protect and help grow a relationship. So one thing that hating well will do for you and your relationship is hating well will help protect the things you value. When you value something and it is threatened, you will move in to protect that because you hate what the threatening is doing to something that you love. And so you will move in, you will make movements, you will move towards, you will pursue, you will do some things in your life to guard and protect what you love simply because you hate some things. For instance, if I hate dishonesty and lying, guess what it's going to cause me to do to protect the things that I value? It's going to cause me to now communicate better. It's going to cause me to avoid situations that may lead to secrecy. I ain't going to be having secret conversations in my DMs. I'm not going to allow people access to me who should not have access to me. I'm going to allow my wife access to everything I have, my emails, my social media, my passwords. There's not going to be areas of my life that are private and secret because I hate dishonesty. And because I hate dishonesty, I'm going to do things to protect the relationship and our communication and our openness and transparency in the relationship simply because I hate dishonesty and what it can do to erode trust and wreck a relationship. And so hating something will help me to then turn around and protect those things in my relationship. And number two, hate will help to destroy the bad things. So if I hate some things, I'm going to remove them, I'm going to eliminate them, I'm going to destroy them, I'm going to attack them in my relationship because I care about the relationship. For instance, if I hate disconnection in a relationship, if I hate feeling not connected emotionally to my spouse, I'm going to move quickly to destroy anything that might negatively impact my connection. I'm going to watch my schedule, and I may need to eliminate some things in order to guard my schedule. If there's some things in my life that are causing disconnection in a relationship, I'm going to destroy them, attack them, eliminate them. That may be bad habits, that may be addictions, that may be hobbies, that may be things getting in the way of what I really want in the relationship, which is connection, because I hate disconnection. I'm going to quickly apologize and seek to reconcile the relationship, because if I don't, that conflict that keeps on going is going to cause disconnection in the relationship. So hate will actually help me to destroy the bad things, while at the same time, hate will help me to protect the good things. So hate is a key component in relationship for protecting the good and also destroying the bad. It's good to hate, but you have to hate well. And not all hating is the same, right? So hating well helps the relationship, problem solves, protects. Not hating well could be destructive to the relationship. And so there's two different kinds of hatred. One is subjective and the other is objective. So subjective hate is kind of like subjective feelings. There's just this big pool of feelings and attitudes with no clear direction or specificity that are just sitting there, and they're kind of just sitting there waiting to unload on somebody, right? And so if I've got this big subjective pool of hate and it's triggered or prodded, what it's going to do is it's going to unload on whoever I need to unload on. For instance, road rage. I recently had this situation. I was leaving a Starbucks. I was in a parking lot of a grocery store, slowly coming through, pulling out to a frontage road. And I don't even know what happened, honestly, to this day, because I didn't see anybody, I didn't notice anybody, I didn't think I was cutting anybody off, didn't think I was bothering anybody. But when I pulled onto the frontage road, all of a sudden this car speeds out around me, looks at me, starts yelling at me through his window, then pulls in front of me, and then reaches out the window and waves me up towards him. So, of course, I'm game for that. I pulled up, and I'm like, what you got, man? And he's like, and then he drove off and spun around, did a U-turn, and flew off the other way. Now, I really have no idea what happened. But because I understand subjective hate, I know here's what happened. This person had a pool of anger, hurt, whatever it was, sitting there that somehow was triggered by apparently something I did, which then caused him to just unload on me because it was triggered and prodded in some kind of way. That's not productive. That's not healthy. All that does is destroy and hurt a relationship. On the other hand, objective hate is specific, is issue-driven, and also keeps in mind the interest of the other person. So it's not just going to unload with no regard for how it might hurt the other person. It's not going to just be general and attacking the person. It's going to be specific on the object of hate, but it's also going to consider the other person. So when you think of objective hate, you think that it is specific, but not focused on the offender. It tackles an issue without attacking the offender. That's what objective hate does, and it can actually help you in the relationship. Going back to my example, if I hate dishonesty, then when there is dishonesty in the relationship, I can address the dishonesty because I want to protect the connection in our relationship, and I want to get rid of this thing that's damaging the relationship. But I'm not going to go blazing in and start blasting the person, and you're just a dirty liar, and you're just... No, I'm going to address the specific issue that is happening right now where there is dishonesty, and I'm going to share how that dishonesty is impacting a relationship, but I'm going to go after it because I hate dishonesty. So we've got to understand that loving is good, and understanding what people love is helpful in a relationship, but don't minimize how important it is what the other person you're in a relationship with hates as well, because that will give us a good indication of the kind of behaviors that we can expect from them in a relationship. So I would say you need to hate well. You need to understand what your partner also hates, because that will help you protect the good and that will help you destroy the bad in a relationship. So I'd love to hear your thoughts below. I know when we hear the word hatred, we kind of push back and rise up against it, but hopefully you understand why hatred can actually be a good thing, because it helps define a relationship as well. So let's have a conversation about that. Drop a comment. If we can help you in any area of your relationship, man, we love to be a part of your relationship journey. Our relationship blueprint course is a great way to get started, to lay a foundation of healthy characteristics that you can build a lifelong marriage at. You can see a description in the description area below, a link for that as well. If we can help you in any area, let us know. And until next time, we'll see you right back here on Relation Shots.